Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome back to the last in our van build series.
Yes.
We are traveling now, so this is also giving some experience of what is and hasn't worked. There are lots of little bits which Hanneke will introduce in the thing and wrap them up.
Yeah, it's just basically the finishing touches.
Yeah.
Haven't quite finished all the finishing touches yet.
All the finishing touches will be finished by the time we get back to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, maybe in the last week. It will bug us for the whole year.
Yeah. Some things which jump to mind which have caused problems or haven't worked. First was the diesel heater. I connected it to the grey water tank to try and stop that from freezing, but the problem was the length of that pipe, and the diameter of the pipe was too small, and so the diesel heater itself very quickly carboned up. And
on one of the coldest days.
It did happen that it then stopped working on the coldest day when it was minus 13
but
degrees.
That was because the diesel gelled.
Oh, there was that as well, yes.
But then you'd fixed it.
Had I?
Yeah, you
okay.
fixed it. It was because the diesel gelled.
The diesel gelled then, yeah. So the diesel gel's below 9 degrees. Minus 9. Minus 9.
It was minus 13.
Yeah. So
it was the first freezing cold night, so we were not quite prepared for this. But we were warm enough still. The van is very well insulated.
Yeah.
The whole video that we did like 2 years ago on insulating the van, it seemed like a nightmare at the time, but now we're quite thankful that we insulated it so well.
Yes, it has. Yeah. There are still heat bridges or cold bridges, but yeah, short of actually getting a fridge box and putting it in here, they're always going to be. So
the other thing that worked very well is I also made a whole video on me making the blinds with foam inside. That has insulated very well.
The cab, yes, that insulates it. You can feel the difference when the insulation's up or not.
But anyway.
Yeah. So that's one. Another one which is still a bugbear is the lights in the lounge. I'm still trying to get a voltage converter. At the moment we're in Turkey, and unfortunately
the lights don't work, full stop. That's
the inside lights don't work.
The front lights.
Yeah. And just the way Amazon works in Turkey means I can't order. So there are just some peculiarities there. Looking at our plans in the future, unfortunately Greece doesn't have Amazon, and I haven't looked at Italy yet. It depends also on how our plans go for moving, because I need to be able to order about 2 weeks ahead and know where we will most likely be to get the stuff delivered.
Amazon in the UAE is missing us very much, because we were getting parcels every day. They actually knew us very well. They knew that if we weren't there, they could just drop it off, or they could just knock on the door. So we actually serviced Amazon incredibly well when we were in the UAE. But what do you say about the whole experience over the 2 years?
Would I do it again? Well, yes, I think I'm going to have to, because we want a van in Canada. Whether we would do the same, potentially not. Not because we're unhappy. We're very happy with the van as it is. It's the space in it works well for us.
The whole design is very comfortable, and we're very glad that we didn't put in a bathroom. So when you lie on the bed, you see the whole length of the van, and it's very spacious. The cupboards are very spacious. I'm very happy with it. Yeah. I don't have any major
and
problems.
that to me is very important, because my happy wife then doesn't.
The one thing is that the water heater was in the boot, in the back in the garage to
the switch for the water heater. And so what we've
that
done
was
is
a
just
nuisance.
brought an extension through. I was looking at putting a relay in, and then decided that was actually the difficult way of doing it. So we've just brought an extension through and connected to the switch, the plug above the sink.
But the kitchen
It works well.
The kitchen works very well. There's a bit of a nuisance having to get my cookers out of the seats, because we have to get up, and usually the seat is covered in all kinds of things, and we have to move that. It's not a major problem, it's just a bit of a hassle. But I think it's better than having it on the kitchen counter, because I do have a lot of space.
Yeah.
The fridge is a wonderful size. As I said, the cupboards are great, especially now that they're organized with boxes. And yeah, it took us 2 years. I was very impatient towards the end. It was like the end was never coming. But it did come, and we are now actually on our way to Greece already, and we can't believe that we actually doing this.
Yeah,
after all
it
these
does
years.
work well. A couple of other things which are not finished is around the sliding door. There's still some painting to be done. That's the paint shop's job. The window which we put in the sliding door, unfortunately, the Chinese side of it, the design is such that it does leak slightly, and all the covers on the corners don't fit properly. So one day I might actually glue them on. The problem with gluing it on is it's more of a permanent solution. What is working well for us are magnets everywhere, being able to hang all sorts of things any way we like and move them. The magnets also are having them for dual purposes, because the very big strong ones which are used for the outside awning also work for the shower inside.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I would change in a next design, is putting stronger magnets in the roof, so that we don't need such strong magnets to attach to it, because the shower curtain still it's a little bit temperamental in putting it up and taking it down. It pulls off quite easily.
It's more when you're in the shower. You
Yeah.
have to be very, very, very careful. But the shower does work.
Yeah.
And it's draining now as well. So
Yeah, all of that is...
toilet's working well.
The in the shower is a non-return valve, which has proved that it works, because at one stage the valve itself, it's a floppy piece of rubber, and at one stage it actually came out, and so the smells from the grey water tank came into the van, and it took us 2-3 days to find out where it was from.
Yeah.
But now that valve is back in place,
Yeah,
all the smells are gone. So from that point of view, I was warned about the smells, and so yeah, the way we've designed it, there could be an issue. If all of those valves are in place, we don't have any issues, because also the sink has a proper P-trap in it, so there's no backflow.
And the composting toilet works well.
Yeah.
So that's all fine.
One other thing which is not up to spec are the sliders which I got from China for the garage. They do not take the weight that they are supposed to, and they really battle with it. Also with that, I brought too much stuff with, but only time will tell whether I actually need it all or not.
No, maybe on the road you'll be pleased that, I mean, we've only been traveling for 6 weeks, so
yeah.
You know, already some of the stuff you've used.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we are packed quite well, I think, clothes wise also. I mean, we were in very, very cold temperatures, and I had all my winter woolies, but I hardly used it actually, because if you're inside the van it's warm, and we do have the diesel heater, and outside if you have a jacket, that's actually all you need if you have a good jacket. So I mean, we were walking in -4 kilometers at a time, -4 degrees at times, and we were warm enough. So I'm actually disappointed, because I've been keeping these winter woolies for years and I'm still not using them.
So, anyway, enough waffle from us.
Yeah.
Enjoy the video. We should soon be starting to bring out our travel videos, the next series. So please subscribe. Please encourage your friends to subscribe. We really would like to grow the channel. And let us have any comments. And thank you very much for watching.
Yes, thanks for all your support while we were building the van. So see you in the next one.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
At the moment we're in Musafa, spark wheel balancing and tyres, and we are about to get 4 new tyres for the van. We were actually quite fortunate because one of the back tyres needed replacing, and we came here to replace it. And when John got the tyre, he checked it at home and actually saw that it is an all-purpose all-terrain tyre that can be used in snow as well, and it was really not that expensive, so he ordered 4 more. And yeah, we're here now in Musafa at night time because the shops are often open here until 10 o'clock, and they're going to put on 3 new tyres because the one's already been there and a spare, so we should be set for our tyres for our Europe trip. We were wondering how we were going to get around this initially because obviously there's no snow in the UAE, but this was just a lucky break.
Okay, so because we're going, this vehicle is going to Europe.
This is for the all-terrain tire.
All-terrain, this is for snow.
Snow.
For snow. On there?
Yeah.
It says for snow.
Snow.
And mud
and
snow. But this is the new one for snow. Okay. And also if you look here, if you look at the tread, the pattern is wide. So the snow can come out here.
Yes.
Okay. And the small tracks here is for the ice.
Ice.
Ice. So it will catch on the ice.
It's a working weekend with Kelcey and Dan coming to visit us. So Kelcey is working on her midterm dissertation. So she can't help us with the van because she's actually still studying. John is going to do the vents. Dan is going to do
Maths.
Maths.
I'm going to do
And I am going to have the wonderful job of trying to get the foam off this door, which will be a lot of fun. And if you remember, like almost 2 years ago now, we spent most of our time trying to get rid of the foam, but we left this, and this now has to happen today. Thank you.
Come on, Mom, be a little bit more graceful with it. You're being filmed.
Why isn't this thing charging? I didn't cut the end actually.
All right, Dan, tell me.
See any no. So there's just a little bit of gap. So we'll have to fill it in with putty. But it's not too bad considering some advanced mathematics was involved. We got to a very similar conclusion in the end.
And what did you say about fitting it in?
I measured it very nicely so that you don't actually have to drill it or anything. So this is not gonna pop out, or it can't come out. I kind of got it stuck in a good way, so it doesn't all come out now.
So if it falls on our head in the middle of the night, we'll know who to scream at.
It won't.
Okay.
I guarantee you that it won't.
But now the paint shop's got to get into the back here to paint.
Yeah, paint shop's gotta do that. It won't fall as long as the van doesn't do this.
Well, you better
If the van does that,
better speak to John about that. I
Yeah.
don't want to be in it where the van does that.
it's terms and conditions apply for this one. So
Okay.
yeah, the van's not designed to do that. So I hope it's not doing any of this anytime soon. Otherwise, yeah, that's the beeswax. Bee's knees. That's the, what is it?
These news.
That's the bee's knees. Yeah.
So we're just painting it white.
Yeah.
But that's really a nice bit now, because now just about everything's covered. Which makes a huge difference.
This is great.
This is the board that Dan made at the paint shop. So just showing the undercoat. We took the kitchen carpet off, and we also just filled in all the gaps here, which we're showing, and then I'll paint that again as well. So just going to paint it white. We were initially going to put the slats on, but we're running out of time. It's just too much left. So we're just going to paint it white, and then that's done.
Cut this out today. I still have to drill the holes and then put rib nuts in. I'm gonna put this, hopefully it sits nice and flush inside. It's actually not forward. This way. Sits on there. But yeah, once you put all the bolts in it, it'll sit like this. And then we're putting a bike rack. Yeah, here. It's gonna be a bike mount here that you can put the bikes on. Principle kind of goes like that. You can clamp the bikes on. Yeah, there we go.
What's our mobile set?
Just need it under the foot, yeah. Just the edges have to be refunded.
Yeah.
Just need nailed.
No, glue it on.
Either one.
This is just showing the paint shop. So what I've painted now are the back panels for the doors, and this side panel here is where we're going to have our headboard. So I've been quite busy lately with the paint shop and the sewing shop. We're working very, very hard to get all of this done. So both John and I are working as much as and fast as
to upholster it.
Okay.
Now, a couple of things need your advice on. First of all, should I cut this round, or do I use the material to pull it round?
Better to material pull it, because if you are going to cut it, if you will cut it right now,
Yeah.
after that when you are going to put the staple pins,
Yeah.
that will also put this more pressure on it. So there will be same thing. The result will be the same.
Yeah.
If you are going to cut it or not cut it, the result will be the same.
So you're not.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the one thing I'm a little concerned about is the thickness of it. Yeah, I don't know if maybe on your bandsaw you can take some off for me?
Better, sir, if you are not going to cut it, we can just apply a layer of the Decathlon which I have in my store, which I have shown you, white thing.
Oh, yeah.
That thing will just lap on it, one layer.
Yeah.
So the corners will be little bit more smoother,
Smoother, yeah,
So
okay.
the finishing will be also there.
Now, the other problem I've got is to put this up, I've got screws and bolts here. So what I need to do is I need to put the material on the back here. Okay. Then put the screws in, put it up. Then push this in, and because I can, this is at the bottom, so you're not going to see it so much. If you put this up, this goes here. Okay. So under here you're not going to see it too much. We're going to have to have pins showing somewhere. So I'll have the pins under there. But in the top here is to pin it at the back.
So one is supporting layer of the wood on the back side, so you can pin it like on the sides as well. Same like this.
Because I want it as flush with this as possible.
So how you gonna put the board and the screws once we upholster it? It will be fixed,
That's what I'm saying. What I'll have to do is put the upholstery on the back,
Okay.
then I'll attach it, then put the foam in
Okay.
and pin it.
So first we will just.
It's steps,
Yeah, okay.
step by step.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, I got your point. First we will just staple the fabric on the back
On
side
the
of
back.
the upper part.
Yeah.
Then after that, when you will fix it, then we'll put the glue and
What do you want? Glue the to here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it will be more.
So it doesn't
yeah,
move.
yes.
Yes.
So we put the glue,
Mm.
and after that we'll just stick the foam, and we can staple
Then
it. Yeah.
staple it at the
Yes,
bottom
yes.
here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And is there any way of hiding the staples here?
Yeah.
How?
You can put the rope, the same fabric.
Oh,
you can
you've got
yeah.
something just
And
to
you
put
will
over
just
top.
glue, and on the top of that we can put the rope.
Rope.
So that will be a little bit more elegant.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, that's easier because I was trying to think how I'm going to do it inside and open up to staple.
No.
Okay. Can you help me with this?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay.
We wanted to get it done.
If we can do it now?
Yeah, sure. I'll just send my person. They are going to start.
Now, your pin gun is compressed air.
I will remove my car over there,
Oh,
so
okay.
you can park your car over there.
Yeah.
So we'll try to bring the compressor out. If it won't come out, then we'll use the handgun. But I think that we'll remove the compressor. We'll bring it a little bit more like outward.
Outside, yeah.
So yeah, we can use the staple gun. That will be more convenient for us.
Yeah.
So let me remove my car. You can just bring the.
Okay, so we're gonna now put up this side panel.
And what are these?
Those are spacers to help.
And you've cut out
Yeah.
the shape of it.
I need you to hold there. I'll hold there, but
You want me to
come,
hold
come,
them?
come here. Come hold this here. Yeah, like.
Oops. How long do you have to set this for? A day. Just so what you're doing?
I'm busy trying to set up a template to test the size and position of the swivel table. Okay, there will be more here. This is not quite long enough. This is 76, no, it should be 80. It's long.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm setting up my guide so that I can go down with the router and take out this piece here for the hinge to fit in. Just setting up the guide for the other side of the track so that when I get a straight line with the router. behind it we're putting a bar to spread the load. A stainless steel bar
Inside the cover.
and inside the cupboard to spread the load along this. Liam, well, let him just put it together. Okay, it's stainless steel bar. Yeah. Okay. Just don't tighten it. Yeah. Just get it onto the onto the bottom. Okay. Let's put the next lot in. Oh, we've got lots of space to move. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then just do the top.
Full price?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This table actually is an IKEA shelf that we bought. It was a reasonable piece of pine. We've used a lagoon mount, which I think you can see there. So it swivels. The mount for the table is offset, so it's not in the middle of the table, it's on the side. The reason that I chose it was it swivels nicely. I was going to put an extra bit on here to make it wider, but it's turned out to be fine like this. It's like everything else in the van, needs to be multifunctional, and so the different ways and areas we can use it. The first is, if I'm sitting here, I can use it as a desk, and I'm then out of Hanneke's way and she has free reign of the rest of the van. What does sometimes happen is she then sits there and works on that flip up table. So that's the first use of it. While we're traveling, and that it does pack away nicely there. Also, it works as our dining room table here. Normally a little bit lower than that, and it's a sort of comfortable table there for both of us, and it locks me in, which means I can't go and get things, and so unfortunately I have to delegate it all to Hanneke, and so she's one who has to jump up and down, but it works well. We both have thing, and often we sit and watch Netflix, so we have our iPad in the middle. So that's the use of it here in the dining area. And then from a traveling point of view, I'll show you that. Okay, so resuming, we've now put the seats in traveling mode. What we do with the mount is then drop it down. This then very conveniently works as a travel table between us, which fits right forward there, and so we can have our snacks and coffee and that on there. So it's a multifunctional table, which
We're very happy with.
Yeah, we're happy with, and it serves a lot of purposes. It gets used a lot.
Nice rainy day. We are just doing the carpeting to carpet all the places that are still showing on the van. before we go on our trip. And once this is done, then all the visible parts of the interior of the van will be covered, and hopefully it will look really nice. And today we have rain. This is not quite natural rain because they do cloud seeding in the UAE. So what they do is they send up aeroplanes and they shoot salt crystals into the clouds that produces the rain. So we don't normally have so much rain as we've had over the last 2-3 years. Normally where we live we seem to miss it, but this time we are definitely getting a nice amount of rain. It rained last night and yesterday, so everything's looking nice and green.
I want to try it from this angle. I don't know if it's going to work.
It looks quite cute, the two of you at the back like that.
This is locked.
Hmm?
The garage isn't locked.
No, don't put it on. Your job is to keep it off.
Okay.
Okay, my job is to put it on. Have to do this.
So before we do the carpeting for this, we actually decided that we need to put Velcro at the bottom here. The Velcro strip is for the mosquito netting that I made. So we want to stick that on first and then finishing the carpet up above it. And then as far as the door is concerned, initially we're going to carpet it, but we decided that the color was too dark. So what we're going to do now is we're actually just going to spray paint these areas with white spray paint to make it look nicer. And then when that is done, then all the carpeting's done, and then the van will be finished inside.